on an
breathing
iPhone.
sounds with on an iPhone.
Yeah, it was just I didn't have a mic or anything at the time, and even like the computer was using was like a 2014 Asus. It was like garbage, you know what I mean? It's like the very first project that I did when for anything was the famous music video. Fortunately for me, obviously, like I understand, like some of you might be thinking, oh, I don't have a connection to Kanye or something like that. But this is somebody that I knew for 15 years. Like we were skateboarding together. Like I'm sure he didn't know as much as I didn't know that he was going to be able to open those doors. But when they did open, he called me one day and he was like, yo, everything's looking good, but it's just not, it doesn't feel real enough or whatever. Can you try this? So I literally recorded stuff just like I am right now. I took this headset, plugged it into my phone, and started making kind of breathing noises and stuff. Imported the video. There's a video player. I think it's just called Video Player 2 inside FL Studio. And then when you hit play on the playhead, the video plays with it. And I was able to kind of just like sync it up. Like, you know what I mean? Everything that I've done, I've been very, I've just been down to kind of dive in. There's not many resources. That was kind of the reason I definitely wanted to speak to you guys today, is I know there's not a lot of resources out there. And if I can provide any information that helps, you guys do some of this stuff, like that's all what I'm about. So yeah, I just kind of dived in, and that was like my first big project, not only for sound design, but first big project in general. And then moving forward, it got to the place, I met another friend while staying out here in LA. His name's Joaquin Johnson. He's now like a part of, like, I would say pretty well cemented in the EXO weekend camp. And he knew Nelly Furtado, who needed some content done for her project. And that was like the first time that I did any sort of like scoring. But again, at the end of the day, all I'm really doing is just like making beats like I always do. Like I have my sound, I have the things that I'm excited to work on, and I just kind of tried to make music that fit those scenes. Like I don't have any sort of traditional background. I just, the same way I go in FL Studio and I try and make a hot track is exactly what I did there. And then I added a couple little transitions and some filters and things, and here we go. That's what you call, scoring, I guess you could say. So yeah, all these things are really at your fingertips if you kind of, I guess, just think about the projects that you're working on a little bit differently.
So with the Kanye West famous video, um, just to summarize, your friend White Trash Tyler is the creative director,
Yes, he had filmed the video with, that's all the VHS stuff. Like he had filmed that.
and he just sends you some kind of rough draft of the video. You drop
Yeah.
it right in the FL studio,
Yep.
and in your Toronto-based home, you're just recording
On an
breathing
iPhone.
sounds with on an iPhone.
Yeah, it was just I didn't have a mic or anything at the time, and even like the computer was using was like a 2014 Asus. It was like garbage. You know what I mean? It's like I just did what I could try and do, and fortunately, like when I sent that audio pass back, he just synced it to the video, and it made those things like sound kind of real or whatever, and they were cool enough to go with it. So, yeah.
All right, I didn't expect the iPhone angle. That's interesting. I think that flies in the face of the narrative that in order to work with artists of that caliber on projects at such a high level that you need state of the art technology, you recorded it on your phone at your house on FL Studio.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, I would say, yeah, I think those narratives or those things are definitely changing. I think that was kind of perceived time where like, yeah, you need to be. I would even say like, think of all the people that have made smash records off of like a BeatStars,
Oh, quite a
production.
few, yeah.
Essentially, and that's just somebody in hope, maybe in their mom's basement or whatever, like just making a really dope beat. So, yeah, I think I'm taking that same sort of approach to all of this audio stuff. Like everything is new to me. Like I didn't go to film school. I didn't come up under like Hans Zimmerman or anybody like that would have a big symphony and all these things. But what I do have is I have access to FL Studio and, some creativity up here. And that's able to, it has been able to allow me to do some of these things. I didn't kind of box myself into, this is the type of person I am and this is the type of things I do or whatever. Like I'm always down to just to learn more. I think even that's what part of being a part of this community is with you guys. It's like, this is entrepreneurial, you know what I mean? And part of that means everything from the marketing to thinking outside the box to like how you can get your music here, all the way to like doing, maybe you need to do a video. Like there's so many things that you necessarily need to do to kind of create your business. So yeah, I'm just one of those individuals, I guess, that is excited to learn those new things from people like you. Like I love watching your YouTube videos and stuff about your insight, and then also watching everything to like from like a Gary V to like sometimes I'll watch how like people do like fitness products and stuff like that because I'm like, oh, we could take that same sort of approach with like an audio thing. You know what I mean? It's just like being inspired by all these different elements.